Hello to everyone. My name is Biljana Bogdanovic and I came from Serbia, from Sunoko factory. Speakers before me usually went from the science, but I'm from the food industry and maybe you will hear some different things. At the beginning, I will tell a couple words about my company. My company Sunoko is the largest sugar producer in the Serbia, and with two sugar factories in Pećinci and Vrbas, we supply all our industry and main small suppliers. Also, we have possibility to export sugar in the countries from European Union and from the Balkan also. Sunoko is the part of MK Group, which is biggest groupation in Serbia, and the MK Group employ more than 5,000 employees in the different sectors such as banks, hotels, meat industry, sugar industry, etc. The main products which we produce is fine crystal sugar. We have different packagings, depends on the batch, from the small 1 kilo packaging to the 1,000, 1,200, depends on the suppliers. Then we have natural brown sugar, powder sugar, and sugar cubes also. We have many byproducts in our production. We produce dried and raw sugar beet pulp, then sugar beet pulp pellets, which is mostly used in animal food. Then we have molasses. Molasses can be used for production yeast and alcohol. And also you will see later, we can use molasses for the sugarization process. In this process, we got another byproduct that is peptide. Let's say a couple words about sugar production. Actually, sugar production is one of the most complicated sugar technologies in the food industry. And we started with sugar growing. Actually, we have contract with our sugar producers. And the middle of the March, we started with sugar seeding. Important fact is that in Serbia is forbidden to use GMO seeds. So we produce sugar from GMO-free sugar beets, actually. When sugar beets is finished with growing, actually beginning of the September, we start with harvesting of the beet and bring beet in the factory, usually by truck. When sugar beet goes to the factory, we make quality control of the beet, and through the many different stages, we get sugar from the sugar beet. Actually, first we start with cleaning, slicing. We get small cassettes, where we remove the sugar with water. Then this heating sugar beet cassettes goes to the press, and we get sugar beet pulp, which is one of the byproducts which I mentioned before. Juice with this heating sugar is dark brown, and we must remove these non-sugar matters in the sugar solvent, and we make cleaning, then evaporation, crystallization, then get the sugar. The last product from the centrifuge, we got molasses, which is another byproduct. In this table, you can see some data about our factory. Actually, total sugar beet which we proceed by year is 1,005,000 tons of the beet, and produce 250,000 tons of sugar. Daily capacity is around 50,500 tons per day. And actually, we grow the beet on the 35,000 hectares. some interesting data about sugar consumption. I don't know, does you have any information that average 40 kilo each person per year eat sugar? 80% of those quantities go to the sugar industry, 20% go to the direct sell. From the food industry, the main consumption go to the confectionery to make cake, chocolates and similar things. And 25% use vegetable and fruit processing methods. Beverage use about 6%, and also pharmaceutical 4%. For example, whole Europe per year spend 30 million tons of sugar. Some interesting topic is, I mentioned molasses, which is the byproduct in the sugar industry. Molasses have about 50% of sugar, and in the sugar, classical sugar factories, we have a possibility to remove this quantity of the sugar from the molasses. One of our factories has the plant which make molasses sugarization process. Interesting is the mention that in the whole world, I think 7 or 8 similar plants is. The sugarization of the molasses gets us high utilization of the sugar beet, high sugar beet production, and also reduction of the production costs. Actually, sugar plant is working beyond whole season because sugar production is seasonal, and our factory working only 3 to 5 months if we don't have this process. In this new plant, we got new byproduct, betaine. Very interesting data is that betaine natural substance. We have found also synthetic, but natural substance can only got from the beet molasses. In the cane molasses, we have a possibility to find betaine. And betaine is very interesting last, I think, 10 years, because he's a methyl donor and he has osmoregulatory properties. He delivers the processed fats. Also, biologically degrades the amino acid homocysteine, which can damage blood vessels in high concentration. So usage is very high in the food supplement. If somebody want to get high muscle development, then use for drinks with betaine. Then animal feeds also use in cosmetics products, in cleansing and detergents, where betaine can be used like an anti-fun. Here you can see that betaine market growing from the year to year, and also almost all the world use the betaine. Next part of my presentation is the food safety. Speakers before me speaking about food safety, but not mention standards which cover these requirements in the industry. Most of you heard about GFSI, and short a couple words about starting of the GFSI, Global Food Safety Initiative. Actually, that is an industry-driven global collaboration which want to make sure that food safety is the same in the whole world. Actually, GFSI is not used for certification. That is organization which only get approved to some standards to be approved by GFSI. They have some system how some certificate get approval from their side. Those are standards which are at the moment approved by side of GFSI. In the food industry, the most used efficiency 22,000, IFS, BSc, but also for the agriculture use global gap, and all those systems are approved by GFSI. For example, ISO 22000 started to ask to be approved from GFSI, but they got negative answer. They must improve standard by technical requirements, ISO 22003, and some prerequisite program. On this occasion, it's not ISO 22000, the name is efficiency 22000, and he is approved by the GFSI. And efficiency 22000 is most common standard in the food industry, almost 40,000 certification in the whole world, more than 154 countries. I mentioned that GFSI wanted to save food for consumers everywhere. They asked to provide continuous improvement to reduce food safety risk, to manage costs of global system, and actually to give some effective global food system that when we say that some standard is GFSI approved, that is food safety everywhere in the world. Those are standards which my company have. Firstly, efficiency 22000. Then we have IFS. IFS is private label which some big market ask, and we must fulfill requirement of our buyers. Then we have environmental, ISO 14001, health and safety 45001, and sustainable sugar beet production. A lot of speakers before me speaking about sustainable, GMP plus, that is safe, sustainable standard for the animal feed, and also we have kosher and halal, that is for our buyers which follow these requirements. Couple of words about sustainable production in the practice actually. My company 3 years ago started with sugar beet production, actually sustainable sugar beet production, and that is very complicated requirements. Actually, those 17 requirements must fulfill to be FSR recognized, and actually some environmental, social, economic. Yes, we must keep attention about everyone. That is true that we have possibility to produce our products and to keep attention about everything, about waste, water, biodiversity, age, GHG emissions, labor conditions, health and safety. That means that have possibility, but is a little complicated system. And my company is first company in Serbia which got this FSR standard for sustainable beet production, and actually we on this occasion we get production of the sustainable sugar. In the food safety, traceability is very important, and we have possibility to trace our product, both backward and forward, and also we have possibility by our document system to prove from the which sugar is produced. Actually, I can mention that sugar beet proceeding almost 24 hours is needed from the beet to the sugar. So that I mentioned that is very complicated technologies, but have possibility to trace also all our ingredients, raw materials, and if necessary, we can recall all our products if necessary, and that means that traceability actually is important because of meaning of recall. At the end, I've prepared some interesting facts for you. Did you know that 1 hectare of sugar beet produces 15 million liters oxygen per 1 year? And as you know, before I mentioned that if we grow the beet on the 35,000 of hectares, I mean that is interesting data. I found it North Sugar make some investigation, and that is interesting because of this GHG emission of heating of the earth, and that is way of the keeping our planet. Also interesting data is that pure sucrose, all of you know, is naturally white, but solution from the before purification is a light brown. I didn't prepare some photos, but actually that process is very interesting. Technology which we use for sugar beet processing is completely the same as organic production. So if we will have possibility to produce organic sugar beet in the sugar beet processing, organic sugar is not problem. Also, interesting data is that sugar is used in human consumption for more than 10,000 years, and our organic system has to use sugar. When we use some synthetic sweeteners, is not the same as sugar used. So my proposal is use sugar, but is in the small quantities. And at the end, 1 kilo of sugar contains more than 5 million crystals in the sugar. Okay? Thank you for your attention.